Welcome to the Spawn Collection Part 2. Stay tuned. Whoosh.
Subscriber alert, subscriber alert! Your friendly neighborhood YouTubers rated A for awesome. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and you're welcome. Enjoy!
Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber guys. And today we're going to be taking a look at my Spawn collection. Modern Spawn collection. All the new figs McFarlane has released thus far. So it is the end of 2023. We are going into the year 2024. And I have to admit, McFarlane has released a lot of Spawn figures. And of course, I've customized most of them. And also I made customs of my own. So we're going to be taking a quick look at all of these Spawn figures. I would probably say there's probably about 40 of them. As you guys can see right here. More than what I expected. And I'm going to try to make this under 10 minutes. If I can't do it, then I'll do a part 2. But we're going to take a quick look at all the Spawn figure releases. I have most of them with the exception of 1 or 2. And then also we're going to talk about customs as well. And of course, speaking of other Dark Age figures, I end up making more custom Kitbashes of my Red Dead Redemption Spawn. I don't know what to call him. Ended up making a custom of him right there. And then also I did a custom of another Malefic Spawn all silver edition right there. I don't know what to call them. They're just custom Kitbashes that I switched out and made Spawn figures, detailed the capes, of course. And they came out great. Just another couple figures to add to my Spawn army. Speaking of custom Kitbashes, I like to do crossovers as well, so I end up doing, being that I love the Redeemer, that Dark Redeemer figure so much, I end up doing a custom Redeemer Warhammer Kitbash figure right there, which turned out just as good. Really, really cool body, awesome head sculpt, and he turned out pretty damn well. Speaking of Kitbashes, let's go to the demon side. Let's talk about Nightmare Spawn. Yeah, it's the Nightmare Spawn that we didn't want, but I end up customizing him and I end up making him as close to the Nightmare Spawn that I remember, but more modernized. I end up switching out the torso and giving him the gargoyle legs and keeping the upper torso, and it actually pegs in nicely to the gargoyle legs, and painting him purple, threw on a cape, and the rest is history. And in my opinion, he's just way, way, way better. The Nightmare Spawn before this was crap. Just throw on a different pair of legs and a cape, add some paint apps to him, which McFarlane has a bad time doing. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he's trying to save money or what. I understand they're $20 figures, but I usually customize them to make them look a little bit better. Speaking of demon figures, just recently came out King Spawn right there. I end up detailing his wings. Of course, we've seen these wings many times. McFarlane has used them many times, and I have used them many times for some custom Kitbashes right there. He very much resembles a Nightmare Spawn. The faces are a little bit different, but essentially the same kind of gist of it. I feel like, this should have been Nightmare Spawn with the wings as opposed to this guy. But beggars are not choosers. That's why I'm a customizer. And this King Spawn, despite lack of paint apps, all he really needed was a paint job with his wings, and he looks 100 times better. Speaking of wings, we are back with this guy. Reaper is his name. Once again, the weapons are a little flimsy, little gummy. It's actually not a bad figure. Once again, the paint apps were lackluster. I end up detailing him as well as I could, as well as I wanted to. But it's a character to add to the Spawn army, to the Spawn collection, and not one of McFarlane's best releases, but definitely I would pick it up if you could find it for cheap. And then, of course, we had the Disruptor, which actually is not a bad figure. There is a variant of this guy as well. I end up customizing him and giving him a weapon with the effects and throwing on some silver onto this Disruptor. In my opinion, he just looks 100 times better. Silver onto the cape as well. Just a little wash here and there, and it definitely brings out the character, the attributes to the character. Once again, here is McFarlane's one of his lackluster figures. If you're a Spawn completist like myself, then he's definitely a pickup. He's actually not that bad when you throw a silver wash on him. The face sculpt is actually good. The body is actually good. Everything about this figure is actually really, really good. The problem is he's a lesser known character, so a lot of people don't care too much about Sin. But overall, he's a good figure. Speaking of figures, and well, popular figures that came out that kind of sucked. My opinion, I actually like this guy. He wasn't that bad. It is overkill. And yeah, if you throw a little bit of a wash on him, change up the paint apps here and there, he's actually a really, really good figure. One of my favorite McFarlane releases. Yeah, there's stuff to complain about with him being hollow and stuff. Wish he was a little bit heavier, but overall, I think it's actually a good figure when you just touch up some paint apps here and there, add a wash onto him. Like I said, change the colors. Overkill is definitely one of my favorite figures. Like I said, when he first came out, people were not digging him. I understand why, but he's a great, great figure nonetheless. And one of my favorites so far from McFarlane's new releases. Speaking of big guys, we got Cygor. A lot of people hated him. A lot of people love him. It's kind of a mixed bag. I like this guy. I like him for what he is. I like the detail. Of course, McFarlane has released a couple of variants of Cygor, but all I really need is one. Even though I wouldn't mind the purple one. The purple one looks really, really good, but which he should have gave us in the first place. But I do like the realistic version. I do like this figure. Definitely one of my favorites. And unlike the Overkill, this guy definitely has a lot more weight to him. And the detail's actually very, very nice. I say definitely worth the $50. He's a big, chunky, beefy gorilla. Cybernetic gorilla. You can't go wrong. And of course, before that Cygor that we got, Raw 10 ended up giving us this Cygor right here, which I ended up customizing as well. Just threw some blood paint onto him. And actually, I think I still might customize him. I think I still might add some silver to him. Looking at him now, I actually do think he does need like a silver wash over him. But this one is just as good, man. I think I got this for $20. He's a hollow monkey. I definitely do think if I add a silver wash over to him, it will definitely bring out a lot of the details. Overall, it's a great, great figure. And of course, McFarlane ended up releasing a bunch of other Raw 10 figures, but here is another Spawn figure. Hoof right here. He is from the universe, the Spawn universe, and he's just as good. Of course, there's the gray version of the Hoof figure, and he does have other Raw 10 figures, but they're not Spawn related. But this guy is, and he's a great, great figure to put with Cygor, especially put him on display when they're battling each other. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for watching part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. This went on a little bit more longer than I expected. So stay tuned for part 3. Thanks for watching.